conspiracy to commit murder.
All right, y'all, you're locked in here to the Midwest Mayhem.
I still always want to show up, and that's just, I have not lost any passion for the job.
Welcome to the Midwest Mayhem Podcast with your host Tyler and Lochie. This is where small town stories, wild headlines, and real conversations come together. We also shine a light on first responders, veterans, and on mental health. Because every voice deserves to be heard. This is the Midwest Mayhem Podcast.
I've been an open book about mental health.
From a federal prison.
Fake leader hiding behind the title.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Midwest Mayhem Podcast. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Lochie.
And we are doing the Voices of Valor today. Lochie, I got that right for once, I think, right?
You did.
I got it right. In studio joining us today, I say studio, it's a room inside my house. We've got Sydney Horton, a critical care paramedic with the Washington County Ambulance District, who started at the age of 15. Sydney, how we doing?
We are doing good.
And then also in studio with us today is Sydney's daughter, Winry. She is walking around and having a great time. We've got Miss Rachel on for her. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but she's standing here looking at me like I'm all kinds of crazy. So Sydney started out at the age of 15. She is Lochie's daughter. Lochie's an EMT with the Washington County Ambulance District, and Sydney's a critical care paramedic with the Washington County Ambulance District. Shout out to those guys. I worked with them for quite a while. That's where my wife works. She can't brag on you guys enough. She loves you guys, and we are so glad to have you here. How are you feeling? You nervous?
Super nervous.
Super nervous. Yeah. We'll get past the nerves. Your mom and I get through this somehow, some way every Sunday, so we'll get you through it too. So we're going to run through some questions with you today, and we're going to see how much we can get out of you. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what drew you into EMS at such a young age?
So I, in high school, needed volunteer hours because I was a part of National Honor Society, and you need 24 volunteer hours. It's not a lot.
Yeah, it's...
And my brother, my mom, and my, at the time, stepdad, they were all volunteers for Bismarck Fire Department. My brother, being even younger than me, was a junior fire department.
Brad, shout out to you, little...
Yeah, he was, 12, 13 around that time?
Now he's a big boy fireman.
Yeah.
Stash and all.
Uh-huh. But I needed volunteer hours, so I thought, why not volunteer with the rest of my family? And the school approved it. And I absolutely fell in love and have been doing that ever since.
And that is fantastic. Who knew that a whole family could be on a fire department? I remember you guys coming down the street and your mom's little white Ford Fusion at the time that she ever so loved until it shot craps on her.
Yep.
And here you guys come. It looked like the Three Stooges piling out of the car. We're trying to get dressed. We're trying to get in the truck. It was just a great sight. Shout out to you, Josh, if you're listening. Lumpy's been a good friend of mine for quite a while. Very good guy. But I do remember Lumpy being with you guys, and I remember him being so soft-spoken, and he always would show us what we needed to do if we needed something.
Oh, yeah.
But that is a great thing, that brings you together as a family, am I right? Questions? I am all kinds of confused today. I have no clue what's going on. So was there a specific moment or like a person? I know you mentioned your brother and your mom and Josh. That did they just make you say this is the job for me? This is the path I want to go down?
So, when I started EMT school, I initially had started actually at the nursing program at MAC. I wanted to be a nurse, or I thought I did. But then I joined the fire department and thought, well, maybe I want to be an EMT. And I started my EMT clinicals, and that's where I met a paramedic at St. Francis County. Her name's Ariel. And she just absolutely motivated me to keep going because I still wasn't too sure. She was amazing for my first ride along. I'm so thankful for her. She still brings it up every day how I was a baby EMT, and now I'm the big shot paramedic. I hate to say that.
The question is, did she know her name's going to be mentioned on this podcast?
She did not.
Do you think she'll listen?
I hope so.
We should encourage her to listen.
Oh, for sure.
I tell you what else we should do. We should encourage her to come join us on Voices of Valor. Ariel, if you're listening to this, give us a shout, message us on Facebook, get a hold of Sid. She knows how to get a hold of us. We'd love to talk to you. I'm all for talking to different people from different entities, because the only people I've talked to so far are from the Washington County. So if you're listening to this, give us a shout, get a hold of us. We'd love to have you on here. Thank you so much for being a guiding hand for Sydney. But that is very interesting that's what made you get into EMS.
Yeah. And then the obsession started, and then we all watched Night Watch. What was it, on Sundays?
I believe so.
Yeah, Night Watch.
Thursday or Sunday.
Thursday or Sunday. And then I saw Holly from Night Watch, and I thought, oh no, I've got to be a paramedic. I've got to be just like
That's
her.
when the decision was made.
Yes.
Well, and, one of the things, Sydney and Holly are a lot alike, style.
Yeah.
And I think the teaching style that Holly has, and their stories are a lot alike. And I mean, I don't know if it would be Holly 2.0, but Sid's pretty much Holly 2.0.
That is really interesting. I don't know that I've ever watched Night Watch.
It
my
is.
gosh.
Oh, it is the best. It follows New Orleans, and it is. And then they tried to branch off into other, states or whatever.
St. Louis was on it for a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
so funny you say that. I have watched that show, and shout out to Kyle Tomashiro, who used to work at Washington County EMS District.
Yes,
St. Louis Fire Department.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Kyle actually took care of me when I broke my leg years ago. He was just I think he was an EMT of Washington County. It was him and Sheila Merrill.
Oh,
We love
So that was the duo crew back in the day. But,
yes.
Tomashiro, if you're listening, you're probably not, but shout out to you, man. We've seen you on TV. You're pretty famous. Just shout out to you. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right, Sid. So being an EMS at the age of 15 and being a teenager and fire and all that just sounds like a lot. How did you handle it?
Honestly, it wasn't too bad for me. I was just in band in school. I was kind of lame. So,
That's something I couldn't do. I'm lucky to be able to blow my nose and get it right.
So time management was pretty easy. It was a little bit different, running a call at 3 a.m. and then having to go to school the next morning. That was fun.
We'll touch on that later. We're gonna me and you and your mom are gonna reboot back on a call. How's that sound?
Oh,
Yeah, how's that sound?
That sounds interesting.
Anyways, I'll let you continue.
But the best part about it is you become a family down there at these volunteer fire departments, and
absolutely.
We're all encouraging each other. All the junior firefighters, we all went to school together. We were all together, and
Bismarck people.
yeah, the Bismarck Bloods. That's what they.
I went to West County, so I wasn't a part of the Bismarck Blood. We weren't big Bismarck fans back in the day, but then I ended up going over to Bismarck and joining. So, what can I say?
But I mean, helping with homework, they always kept me on top of everything like that. And even continued and branched out even after high school. Through EMT school, that we were all down there studying together. Through paramedic school, I mean, it was just, they just keep you on track, and it's just a very tight-knit group of people.
Well, and we've talked about the volunteer fire departments before, Tyler, and how that is. It's very, it's important. It's a place for kids to go that could typically be in trouble.
Yeah.
And, by finding a good group of people, and we were like family. I mean,
That's
we go back, it, like you said, we all piled up down there in the car, or, we would be down at the firehouse. Let's run down and get a pizza. I would check on the kids constantly. Do you have this done? Have you turned in this homework? I had teachers that would call me or message me and say, hey, so-and-so hasn't been to school, or so-and-so didn't do this work. Do you mind talking to him? And that, for Sid's been very natural in everything she did. And EMS was definitely something that she was a natural at. For sure. So, I mean, I don't know. The volunteer fire service is a good place to start if anybody's interested.
And yeah, we can't encourage you enough. All three of us have done it, and we encourage all of you to do it. Go check out your local fire department. Talk to the chief, the captain, the lieutenant, the junior firefighter that's sweeping the floor. Go talk to them, get an application, fill it out, and experience what that's like, because none of us sitting in this room can experience that adrenaline pump or the fantastic morale that it brings to the room.
Well, and it's neat to have a group of people that you have you have similarities, that really it's just a neat thing to have that type
Absolutely.
of group.
Absolutely. So Sid, we're going to jump into a little bit of your EMS life here. We're going to talk about work. I'm sure that's exactly what you want to do on one of your days off. We're going to walk through a typical, what's a typical day look like for you? You get to work, you get out of your car. Walk us through what you do when you get there.
Well, usually first things first is some form of caffeine, whether it be a coffee or a white Monster specifically. And then I get right to it. Morning routine is get in the truck, check my narcotics, check my supplies, all the bags, all the cabinets, checking all doing like the maintenance stuff, heads, tire pressure, lights, making sure we don't have anything out, make sure there's no exterior damage. And then we all wash the trucks together. If it's Friday, yay, bay day. It's bay day. So we literally pull every vehicle out of the bays and scrub them down. And then at that point, it's kind of sitting around waiting for calls. But the best part of my morning is when I walk in and I have a student that I can sit and show around the truck and the different things that we do.
And that would be an EMT student or paramedic student, because Washington County Ambulance District, they also oversee the EMT paramedic program at Mineral Area College. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So they get many different students, EMT or paramedic, that come ride the trucks with them. They do it's called a third ride, right?
Yeah.
It's a third ride. So they ride along with them. They check out what they do. They let them do hands-on skills to get them trained and ready to go for when they get into the big boy world and actually get to go on the ambulance with just one other person versus two other sets of hands. Very fantastic program. I went through the EMT program, but unfortunately I didn't get my license. But I think that is very neat. I loved when I was a captain on the fire department, I loved training people. That was one of my favorite things to do. The feeling you have when you've trained somebody and you go do the job after you've trained them and just watch them do what you taught them, there's no better feeling, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Well, and sometimes I know with our work, I can think of just a couple of the kids, because being older, they're all kids to me. And Sid can probably know some of the ones I'm talking about. It is neat to see them when they first come in, as we refer to them as either baby EMTs or baby paramedics, and to see the growth they have and the confidence that happens. And I will have to say, Washington County Ambulance District, we are tough on our employees, but we have good employees. We have, we have programs to better yourself. And, it's neat to see that growth, just the growth even in Sydney as her mom, watching her go through each of the things. And the critical care is unbelievable.
Critical care. Now, Sid, can you explain what critical care is just real quick?
So specifically for me, I'm actually a board certified flight paramedic.
Oh, wow. I was wrong. I thought you was just critical care.
It's critical care. It's
Okay.
the same difference. There's just a ground version and a flight version. I took the flight test, even though I am absolutely terrified of helicopters.
Me too.
She won't even load one. Like if we were on scene and we have to load the patient, Sid always stays back and
I'll clean.
You'll clean, and that's what her, and that's fine. I mean, everybody has their things, but I have always thought it was so funny that she is board certified to fly.
And terrified.
Terrified.
Board certified and terrified.
Yeah.
But I mean, the biggest things with critical care that I can do, at least at Washington County, some of the major differences is I can do things like finger thoracostomy. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk.
That's the nerves kicking in, folks.
Yeah. Blood administration, and just like specific drugs that are considered critical care. And it's just a general higher level of education, a deeper look into anatomy and physiology and things like that.
Those are really big words that I don't even know that I could pronounce. Now, with that being said, Sid, what are some of the biggest changes you've seen in EMS since you first started?
I think the biggest changes that I have seen personally is the level of trauma care. Just specifically, the advancement that has come along with the care of a trauma patient in just the last, 5 years has been astronomical. Washington County Ambulance District, not to keep tooting their horn, but they're pretty cool.
Justin, if you listen to this, buddy, don't get a big head. We love you, but I think they're trying to say we're going to calm it down just a little bit. Is that what we're saying to Justin?
Yeah.
Are we saying Justin should come do a podcast with us?
Yes.
I think I've got
Once
him
he
roped
gets his
into
voice back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get your voice back, Justin, I'm holding you to what you told me, my friend.
Well, we were pretty sure one of the first ambulance districts in the state of Missouri to start carrying out of hospital blood products. We don't carry whole blood. We carry never frozen plasma and packed red blood cells. But I mean, that alone is just insane that just rural Washington County was one of the first places to start carrying it. I mean, even little things like TXA, which helps your clotting factors and helps you clot when you're bleeding, or stops it. Let's get technical with it, okay? It stops your body from breaking down already formed clots, okay? Somebody's gonna correct me on that. But I mean, even just like that becoming a common medication given in the trauma patient in the last 5 years is pretty, in the out of hospital setting, is pretty amazing.
That's great. I'm thankful enough. I'm very thankful for you guys and all the. You confused me just in the 3 seconds you explained what it was you just explained. Thank you so much for explaining that and doing what you guys do. I've worked alongside of you. I couldn't be any more proud to say that I have. You guys have been. So we've talked about your what a normal day is for you. We've talked about some of the biggest changes you've seen just since you started in EMS. What's something about the job that the public doesn't really see and or know? Like if I'm Joe Smo on the street, what could I see or what could I not see that I wouldn't understand?
The biggest question I get asked by patients are, so what time do you get off? And they don't understand, like when I say 2 days from now, I mean 2 days from now. The concept of working 48 hours straight, 72, even 96 hours straight is just mind-boggling to some of these people. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, is that they don't realize how long these hours actually are.
And you guys run 48 hours or 72-hour shifts?
We run 48-hour shifts, and then we have a day 12-hour shift. And that's what I work.
And okay. And Locke, you did the 12-hour shift when you first started out, right?
Yes.
Are you being
well, I started out technically starting out, if you want to go back that far, I would work 24, be off 24, and it was a weird Kelly schedule.
Yeah.
Then when I went to Washington County, and we had switched to 48s, then I was 48s. Then because we're so busy at Washington County, they put a 12-hour truck on. Yeah. And so I would work 4 12s and then be off for 4. But like Sydney said, people are like, well, do you sleep there? Do you, they don't understand that we don't live in the ambulance. We have crew quarters. We barbecue, we have dinners together. Of course, every time we plan something, that's when the county usually goes to hell. But, we do have places that we can sleep. And I mean, it's literally our home away from home.
Oh yeah,
it's a very nice facility.
Yeah. I mean, we throw birthday parties for each other. I had a baby shower thrown for me. I mean, it's and a home away from home.
And I mean, that's just it. We are very family oriented there. We may all sometimes fight like cats and dogs, but it is very family oriented. I mean, how many babies were born last year at our district?
Like 8.
So I mean, that pets are there. I mean, it is. That's our home away from home. That's the only way.
I think that goes for every. Just from the experience I've had, every ambulance district.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
You both worked for Iron County as well.
Yes.
Back before Washington County, they worked for the Iron County ambulance district. Both when you were both just EMTs, correct?
Right.
Correct. I was a paramedic there briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, my first cardiac arrest as a BLS crew was with Sydney.
Yep.
We literally had on scene like 7 minutes.
It was very short.
We literally, what we refer to it as, we shat and gat or shut and get. I mean, that's what was neat, is the fact that
it didn't help we had a Great Dane that was trying to eat us.
No, and that was so funny too. I'm not going in that door. But I mean, it's been neat because for those of you that don't know, I've worked with both of my kids on the ambulance, not just in the fire service, but we have worked at the ambulance. And there are some pluses and not so good things about it, because I, of course, and anybody that knows me knows I'm very much mama bear. I mean, I can crawl up in their ass about something, but depending on the situation, I don't always take well to.
Sid, did your mom ever hit you while you were on the ambulance? You just stick up 5 fingers if she did. It's okay.
Yeah. I don't think it ever got physical, but we definitely had some verbal altercations.
Just a few.
Yeah.
I wish I had a recording we could play for you guys, but we don't, unfortunately. So we're gonna jump into some of the tougher stuff, Sid. And we're gonna kind of reverb on a call that all three of us have ran together. We're gonna revisit that, and then we're gonna go through. As long as you're comfortable with it, at any point in time, you're welcome to say, I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to talk about any of this. So the first question I got for you, so every first responder has this call. I have this call.
Yeah.
I'm sure your mom has this call. I know for a fact you do. One that's just stuck with them, without breaking any kind of privacy or HIPAA violation deals. Would you be comfortable sharing all of those experiences with us?
Yeah. So, my very first ever fatality accident, all three of us were there on this one.
Absolutely.
It was middle of the night. It was like a Tuesday night.
We all had school the next day and work.
Yep. I believe it only came out as like a vehicle fire. I don't even know if it came out as a motor vehicle accident.
I think it was like a motor vehicle accident, but then it just kept snowballing.
It did. You're right.
Yeah.
I just remember I laid in bed. I heard the tones drop, said motor vehicle accident with possible injury. By the time I was up and getting dressed, it was with rollover. And then by the time we were walking out the door, it was with rollover, with fire. And
Entrapment.
And it was like, this just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what are we about to see?
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that don't know, when I was on Bismarck, I still lived in the little town of Irondale. So I had a nice curvy drive at 3 o'clock in the morning from the town of Irondale to Bismarck to catch a truck. And of course, I obeyed every speed limit and speed sign that there was. And I broke no traffic laws.
Absolutely.
But I got there. I distinctively remember Lochie and Sydney and Brett just like coming in distraught. I had no clue what exactly we were walking into.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think you guys came in the Fusion, if I remember correctly.
Probably.
It's been so long, but I just distinctly remember you guys coming out of that car and just disheveled. You like a ghost. You'd seen a ghost.
We were at that point just preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
We were in the old 3175, the old.
I wasn't. I was. Okay.
Your mom and I were in 3161.
I think
the big yellow one. The big one.
No, Keith was driving me. I was with Keith.
Okay, Keith, I guess, drove us back from the landing zone.
Keith drove me in 3175. I think it was just.
Maybe I was with you guys in 3175.
Okay, yeah, maybe we were.
We were.
I don't know. It was such.
I don't know. Because it's interesting because you three kids, Brett included, I didn't realize the impact that accident had on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for me, it was a different route of being my first pediatric patient and fatality with fire. But
I think that was Brett and I's first pediatric.
But I think Brett was in the fire truck and we were in 3175. I do think that's right.
I don't remember. You were with me because I remember pulling up on scene and I just went, holy shit.
Yes.
And you got on to me because Keith was right there.
Yes.
And you didn't want me cussing in front of Mr. Caldwell.
I was either in the pumper or the rescue. I don't remember it. Whatever I could tag onto at that time because I was so far away. I just remembered like topping that hill right there before you go right down where the Y is right there. Mm-hmm. And you no more than didn't even crest that hill and you just see a plume of black smoke. Mm-hmm. You top it and it's just like it's like walking into hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. And it just unfolded from there.
Yeah. The car was still actively fully involved. It was hot.
Very hot.
Because it came up on us over a hill. We parked too close. So it was hot. And I just remember just bodies everywhere.
Yep.
I was just like, what in the world did we just walk into? And I remember Brett pulling a line, and I just remember going to the first person I could find, which was a female that was in the vehicle. And I don't know, like you said, it just kind of unfolded from there. I
know Brett and I pulled the line because that was at the time, I think, the only thing we were kind of allowed to do. I technically don't even know that we were supposed to be there, but we were. Brett and I pulled the line and started hitting the car. I know you went to the female patient and you went to the pediatric.
I did. And when we say pediatric, we're talking just still in a what we call a pumpkin seat.
Yeah.
And I can remember kneeling down and thinking, of course, I thought to myself, what the fuck? And I remember Keith putting his hand on my shoulder and he said, you've got this, Lochie, you can do this. Because we were unsure of I didn't even know if the child's family, was his mother involved? What was going on? I had no idea. And here I was looking at this baby what month was that?
It was still kind of cold outside, right?
It's chilly.
So maybe September, October.
It was about this time. Matter of fact, I think it was about this time. We hadn't been in school very long. School had just started back up.
I think it was around this time of year.
And I know for sure, the baby's birthday was in June.
Yeah.
And he was a preemie.
Yeah.
And I just remember like weird stuff happening. The baby was on oxygen, and when he had his little cannula stuck in his nose, and it looked like somebody literally had taken trauma shears and cut him from the oxygen tank that was inside the vehicle. There were just so many odd things. And do you guys remember the guy that said that he apparently came up on the accident and then like disappeared?
Yeah.
The semi driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I get that semi parked right down by Roy's, down by Iron Mountain.
Yeah.
Remember that little pull off they had?
Yeah.
Because Beelman always would come through there.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that's where he went, if I remember back in my brain from seeing everything that night.
I just remember. So the ambulance that night, and you know how it gets, the ambulance that was stationed in Bismarck was not, they were on a transfer.
Mm-hmm.
So the ambulance was coming from Farmington, so it had a 20-minute ETA. So it was just us.
Yeah, 67 to 221 to all the way out to the wire right there.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah.
Of course go ahead.
I was still in high school. I had gone through an EMR class. That's all I had. That's all the training I had. And it was just us, and it was terrifying. And the female patient, she was 10-second Tom, asking the same questions over and over and over again, which is
pretty common.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she ended up having a brain bleed. But that 20 minutes that it took the ambulance to get there felt like hours.
Well, and then I know that they immediately initiated flight.
Yeah, and flight was initiated, if I remember correctly, radio traffic-wise, flight was initiated before 75 even arrived on scene.
Which is typical, and definitely huge shout out to our dispatchers.
For sure.
They often get so forgotten. And, that's kind of in a situation like that, a call like that, all of this snowball. There are early activations that they start, hence early activation. They got helicopters in the air. I know that we did take the mom and the baby in the same ambulance because I don't even think they had really technically enough ambulances for patients.
No,
So we took the mom and the baby because I remember holding the baby in what we call the captain's seat.
Did Iron County come up that night? Was that a mutual aid thing or was that a different? Am I thinking?
So.
Am I thinking of a different call? I'm probably thinking of a different call.
You're thinking of another fatality accident on M Highway.
Yes, you are correct. Mm-hmm. You are correct. Anywho, back to that one. We've fair shared our trauma here for sure, but we'll continue on with this accident.
Well, and I think one of the things, and I know Sid and I talked about this, I don't know if she remembers, one of the hardest things for me that night was telling your patient when she was asking about the other. Well, first of all, I did not realize that there was a fatality in the accident. So she kept asking Sid and I, how is so-and-so? How is so-and-so? And both of us were like, oh, he's fine. He's being treated, at the scene, blah, blah, blah. Now, unbeknownst.
I thought it was the other male patient.
Right.
Who was still alive.
Unaware of the fact he was deceased.
And Brett and I didn't know that until after we had, because you all, for those of you listening, we're talking about a full fireball scene. Like there's a lot of fire. There's people screaming. That it's not just you pull up and it's a nice quiet setting. I mean, it is hectic. It's chaos. It is just insane. It's mayhem.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It is. We didn't know till long after that. We had a fatality, and it's crazy to think because when you talk about a fatality, and I'm pretty sure the fire had something to do with it. Again, I won't go into too many details, but when it comes to fire and a fatality, there's a smell, and I know both of you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a smell, and I don't know how I didn't smell it at the time, but after we figured out that there was a fatality, that smell just hit me, and it's never went away.
Nope.
I still have, I wake up in sweats. I scream. When I met my wife and got with her, I had to tell her, hey, if I wake up screaming in the middle of the night in a dead sweat, just don't think anything of it. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
But that call was just unreal. Still to this day, here we are 7-8 years later, no longer, and it's just like it happened yesterday.
Yeah. I remember every detail that I saw. I'll never forget that.
And it's kind of it's neat that we can sit here and talk about this, because from my perspective of fighting the fire to your perspective of dealing with pediatric and yours of dealing with the mom, it's just crazy how it all unfolds, and you kind of get a full round story of how this goes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is there another situation or anything you want to talk about when it comes to that one call? Do you have, since you've been in the emails district, is there anything?
So the year that I was pregnant was hard.
It was very hard.
I can only imagine being pregnant and having to run calls on you never know what.
Yeah. There were two in particular that I had. I unfortunately had a pediatric cardiac arrest of a 3-month-old. And one thing that will stick with me is having to tell me, being grotesquely and very obviously pregnant, I was about 8 months pregnant at the time, that her baby was not going to come back. That was very difficult because, I mean, the mom just looked at my stomach and knew that I was pregnant with a happy, healthy baby, and hers has just passed away. That sticks with me a lot. And then another one we had, unfortunately, right outside of our ambulance district, a young male patient gets struck by a semi in the middle of the night. And I just remember, again, I was heavily, heavily pregnant. And at the time I was a captain, so I was in a white polo. And I was going to pop his chest, and I got the hemostats through, and blood just squirted all over me and got all over my big old pregnant belly. And that's when I was like, okay, it's time I go on maternity leave.
And it's a good thing you have that. But I tell you what, white, that is a terrible color for a paramedic. Why would you put a paramedic in white?
Especially a captain who has to run all the high acuity calls.
I just never fire departments would, like the high-ranking officers wear white. White is a terrible color. Make it black, blue, purple, green, orange, something of that sort. But
that's what I've always said.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I've always said.
White is a very terrible color, but yeah, that had to have been hard. I give it to you, Sid. That really, I couldn't do it. I've ran my fair share of calls. I mean, I look like I'm pregnant most of the time, but being pregnant and doing that, I just can't picture what it would be like. So Sid, with us jumping into some of the negative impacts that this job does have, I want to talk about the flip side. I want to talk about the good things that remind you why we do this job, why you do your job of a day, and what just keeps you happy in what you're doing.
Well, I have had the absolute honor of delivering 3 babies.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up.
I baby deliveries. I've delivered one, and I'm like, nope, I'm good.
So it was absolutely amazing. Just the little things when it comes to delivering the babies, like going over the radio and saying en route to the hospital with 2 patients instead of 1. It's super exciting, and just being able, because you see so much life leave the world, more so than
being delivered and brought in. You know.
So to actually see the absolute magic that is a baby being brought into this world.
And was it 2 girls and a little boy?
Yes.
That's what okay.
Yep. First one was a boy, and I've had 2 girls since.
Yeah.
You seem to be a girl magnet then, because you have a little girl.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. I mean, there's always positives. That's the one thing I hate when people ask, because most of the time when they're asking you something, it's what's the worst thing you've seen, or what traumatized you, basically.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about, hey, I got to go spend the day with a bunch of little kids at the elementary school, showing them the fire truck, or I got to do the homecoming with my town, or versus telling you, yeah, I got to see Meemaw. I got to pump on Meemaw's chest last night.
Right.
Something terrible. But I always I enjoy hearing the flip side. I'm just a positive person like that. But so I think sometimes people forget what the point of our job actually is, and that's for the good.
Well, and because I think everybody always thinks it's all this madness and blood and guts and all this just, chaotic TV show bullshit. When, so with that being said, Sid, what would be maybe like a geriatric patient or something like that has been a positive that you've been able to see the outcome, even like an addiction? Have you had anything that like that sticks in your mind where you saw them at their very, very worst, and then, 3 months later or whatever, you see them and they're happy, healthy, productive people?
Yeah, I think the biggest example is one of our MIH patients, actually. And obviously I won't name names. But she was, when we first got to her, she had gone through addiction throughout her life. She was just on this insane amount of medications through multiple different doctors, was barely conscious half the time.
Zombified.
Yes, yeah. And we got a hold of her, and now she's in a nursing home now, but she is just absolutely thriving, and I love seeing her. She remembers our names now. She knows exactly who we are, and she just loves life now and is actually enjoying life and actually being able to enjoy the rest of her life.
And I tell you what, that is one thing that sticks with me, that sometimes people call 911 just because they want somebody to talk to.
Yes.
I can think of one patient, and I know for a fact all three of us have ran on this gentleman. He's no longer with us.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He just recently passed.
Yes.
Again, can't name names, but I think he just wanted a friend. He was most of the time he was hard to deal with, but I think he just wanted a friend. He was a very lonely old man.
Well, and I think it's neat too to like pull up at the gas station and little kids will be like, I mean, of course the firemen are top priority, which I do. I mean, if I had to choose between a fire truck and the ambulance, but I mean, they are just fascinated sometimes too.
Yeah.
Oh, can I see what you do in there? And, I don't know. It's just sometimes neat to, I don't know.
There's nothing that makes you feel better than a little kid just like looking and saying, wow, this is so neat. Or man, I was that little kid. Like I was that little kid. I wanted to be a cop. Okay. Who wants to be a cop? Just kidding. I love our cops. Like, respect to you guys. But I wanted to be a cop when I was a little kid. And then I grew up to be a fireman and realized how much cooler being a fireman is. Again, no disrespect. I'm just kidding. It's a beef that we all have. These guys understand. But just that feeling that little kids respect you and enjoy what you're doing, and the truck that you drive or the tools that you use, it's neat to have a little audience, basically.
And it's neat to, because I know all of us sitting in here, and majority of, honestly, the people we work with, they can act like they don't, but we do take pride in our job.
Absolutely.
We do like showing off what we do, if that's what you want to call it. But it is neat to be out. And I mean, this is my passion. So I love being able to be out. And then to say, with our MIH patients now, I can say, well, my daughter told me about you, or they'll say, oh yeah, your daughter mentioned that I would have you as a driver or whatever. It's just neat. It's a neat feeling to do this job.
Yeah.
So.
Being a first responder, I was so dedicated to it. I got made fun of in school, so that's how dedicated I was. We've talked about that. Go back and listen to episode number 3, and I've talked all about that. But, so, Sid, we had some more questions for you. Eventually, you get tired of answering them, I promise. So, how do you personally process and cope with difficult situations from your job? What's a coping mechanism for you?
For me personally, I really love video games.
Amen.
Yes.
Xbox sitting right here.
Yeah. I've got PC.
Well, and it's real, nice to call her and, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making a big pot deal. I'm like, what are you doing? And, she does, what is the game that you're...
Schedule 1.
Yeah, and she and her brother are constantly, it's like you're drug dealing and slinging dope. That's what they'll always
In a
tell me.
video game, I gotta live life somehow.
And then what was the Western one that you were so devastated?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh my God.
I'm ready for 3 to come out.
Yes.
I'm so ready for 3 to come. GTA 6 has to release first. That's a whole nother subject.
Okay, so what else? I'm sorry.
So I play a lot of video games. I've been getting into doing just like coloring. Adult coloring books are nice.
Those are great. The ones that say like "fuck you" and
Yeah.
"at you." And
Oh, yes.
I bought Maria a couple of those, hoping she'd quit hitting me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. She doesn't hit me most of the time.
But honestly, the biggest thing is therapy. Go to therapy. It's healthy and it's normal and it's fine. And it's good to have somebody that's not in the field and has a medical understanding of what you're trying to explain to them to sit and talk. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Go to therapy.
And then we always talk about it. I mean, we may joke about it and have a weird sense of humor about it,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes just talking about it, don't you think?
yeah.
Laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And because, as we all know, a lot of us do turn to alcohol, tobacco, too much caffeine, withdrawing from family members and whatever. But it's okay to talk about it. And it's okay for example, all 3 of us had different situations from the same situation.
That's
the same, different feelings. And it's okay to discuss those things. And that's where, it's okay to not be okay.
Again, you can hear that in episode number 3 and episode number 6 that released last Friday, where we talked about mental health and not being okay. We're going to cover some mental health stuff here. We just covered it a little bit, but I think I have a little bit more of a section for it. So you're a mom, correct? Winry's actually here. I think Maria took her for a ride on the 4-wheeler. Hopefully they're having a good time and not causing trouble. I'm not sure who's more responsible, Maria or Winry, but so how has being a parent changed you and your approach as to how you do your job? Has it changed you at all?
Oh, yeah. I think I have a better connection with kids overall. Because I used to be super awkward with pediatric patients. I never knew what to say, never knew how to interact with them, but now I definitely have a much better understanding of kids. And I have a much bigger sympathy for parents, moms who have a sick kid and things like that. I used to be like, it's not that big of a deal, chill out.
And now well, just a minute ago, Sydney's like, will you just sit still? Will you just calm down?
Yes. So like now I just have like a much bigger sympathy for.
I'd prefer empathy because you do understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Just because I think sometimes people take, have sympathy. That's not necessarily what you're saying. You do have a completely different understanding.
And there you have it, folks. You just witnessed mom correct daughter here.
Well, because
no, she's right.
But it's funny because I can, and it's neat being a parent and then seeing your child become a parent, because I can think of things that I was freaking out about that I would. Well, should I do this or should I do that? And even though we're both have enough medical background, Sid'll still call me, Mom, should I take her? Where should what? And it's,
Oh, yeah.
We still do that.
Yeah. I think the best example that I have recently is call-wise is I had a pediatric breathing problems, and like the kid had just been diagnosed with RSV, and the doctor told her like the second she gets worse, you call 911. Like she was right on the edge, and they sent her home. And she got worse, and mom just hands me this limp baby that can't breathe. My shakes were so bad, and I wouldn't have had that before, not having a kid. But my shakes, I was damn near in tears trying to take care of this baby. I knew exactly what to do. Everything was fine. The baby is fine. But I was just having a kid, and if I were that mom, just the empathy that I had for her was insane.
Well, and it doesn't change, because I can remember having an underage drunk driver that we were flying from Iron County intubated, and I had a child in that age group, and I had to tell that mom. So it never changes. No, in each phase, it never changes, because I had to tell that mom, there's a good possibility your son's not going to make it.
Yeah.
But
now, you see it in TV shows all the time. Drives me absolutely nuts. Half the things you see on TV, folks, is not how it's done in real life. It's all for TV, I promise you. What drives me nuts is like you'll see somebody on TV being a paramedic, and they're holding this baby, or they're holding a little kid, or doing this, and it pictures like their kid or whatever. Does that happen to you? Do you picture it as your own child? Does that ever?
I try my best not to.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Because then it's just going to get me all in my head and I wouldn't be able to focus.
And I know some people actually do that, and it's basically
horrible.
driving them nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's driving them deranged.
And I think it's one of those things you can put yourself in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that you're necessarily picturing them, but I couldn't imagine having someone tell me that information, or, you know, because I've been in the same situation of a patient just handing me their baby, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do with this thing? You know, I mean, I can't imagine that happening. I don't know. Sometimes it's
a little nerve-wracking.
just a little, just a little.
Now, the EMS life, it's definitely demanding. How do you balance stress on the job with your family life? Like, I know for a fact you've had a day where you've come home and work's just been you're tired. You've been working 48 hours. You're just exhausted. And then you have Winry at home. And she's, Mom, I'm happy to see you. I haven't seen you in 2 days. I'm ready to play. How do you handle that?
I just focus on the positive. I don't care how tired I am. If my daughter's happy to see me,
That's a good thing.
that's the best thing in the world.
Good. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
That's the most simple answer I think you could have given. That is the absolute best.
Yeah.
I will give you that. She seems like a very happy little girl, and I'm happy she's visiting with us today. So what do you do outside of, I know you said you play video games. What do you do to relax and recharge? Do you go visit friends? Do you hang out with friends? Do you sit around a bonfire? I know you said you play games. What else do we do?
Oh man, I'm not a very exciting person. I like to go out with friends. I've been going out with friends a lot more recently, just trying to get myself out there, and I take a lot of naps.
Naps are always good.
Yes, I love naps.
Which, by the way, she was a shitty sleeper.
But she was a little kid.
Yeah. So,
love
yeah.
naps. 10 out of 10.
Naps are great. I think everybody listening to this will agree with that. Who doesn't love a good nap? Besides little kids, they absolutely hate them. They're like the devil.
So how do you completely recharge? Because working that 12-hour shift, we used to do 4 12s, and sometimes it wasn't 12s. It ended up being 13, 14. Now you're down to, what is it, 3 12s is what this...
3 on, 3 off, yeah.
So seriously, how do you recharge? For the younger people that, your age group, how do you really recharge? Do you get recharged? Because I know at 50, I think that's horseshit. I don't think I'm ever recharged.
Lucky had to stop for coffee on the way here today. She was a little late.
Yeah, we were super late. But honestly, I don't know if I ever really do get recharged. Now that you say that, I mean, usually by my second day with enough sleep, I'm feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good shower after a shift, a good shower, a good nap, and my pajamas in my bed. That usually does it for me.
Yeah.
Just being in my bed.
Well, and I think just knowing you worked your ass off and you're laying in your bed.
Especially after the other night, the shift that I had was from hell.
Well, and sometimes I've always said a hard day's work
It's an honesty.
It's an honest day's work. And you know what? I may be tired, but I have a little home to go home to. I have good kids. I have wonderful friends. And I think what you said is focusing on the positive and knowing that, you know what, we're very blessed to do what we do.
Oh, yeah.
So not to go ultra on us all, but
so what's the hardest part about working in an EMS today? And how long have you been doing this again? You've been
licensed. I've been as a licensed EMT or paramedic since 2019, so 6 years.
So in 6 years, so you went through COVID.
Yes.
You went all the way through a pandemic, which kudos to you. I hated dealing with it with the fire department, let alone riding around with somebody sick in an ambulance.
Well, and let me interject here real quickly. Being that it was COVID, they did not get to do their clinicals in OB. And so for her, and then one of our close friends, Marilyn, who was in class with Sydney, they're like the queens of birth. And to think that they didn't actually get to go into the hospital, right? You didn't get to go into the hospital.
I didn't get to do OB. I didn't get to do cath lab, pediatrics. The fact that I even passed paramedic school is honestly...
And now you got people spitting them out left and right, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and to know that that's what and that to me, not to brag on my kid, but That's just how natural she is at this job.
That's great. That is fantastic. So, like, you have technology. Technology is a real big thing. You make, anybody and their brother, I have a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
Everybody's got a camera. And if you do one thing, just one thing wrong, they will get you.
Oh, yeah.
You see it all the time on social media. This ambulance just flew past me. This ambulance did this. This paramedic did this. This ambulance driver did this. Is that a big challenge?
Yeah, honestly it is. And I'm really good at, especially social media, I'm really good at just blocking it out and just replacing it with funny stuff.
Would you say social media is the hardest part of being in EMS? Is there something?
It's definitely a challenge. It's definitely a challenge to just, and that kind of goes back on the, what do people not understand? It's, they don't understand, and they'd rather just, like,
bitch and complain about it?
Yes. And I, like, the biggest complaint that I hear is, like, it just seemed like they didn't care enough. Like, are you kidding me? Of course we care. Like, I don't know. Or, well, it didn't move fast enough.
And the caring part, why it doesn't necessarily, to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, we're going through an algorithm in our head that then somebody's throwing bricks at us to fuck up that algorithm.
Yeah.
And so, you can't always, it's not that we don't care. We're just trying to keep you alive to get you to the next level of care.
I'm panicked. I'm rebooting. Give me just a second here. So on the flip side, what's the proudest moment in your career? Is it delivering babies? Have we already talked about that?
Yeah, honestly, delivering those babies was one of the best moments that I had.
That's fantastic.
I will say, I was pretty proud of myself the other day. I got one of the hardest airways that I've ever encountered. One of the hardest airways I got at first pass attempt. So that's another
sticking a tube down somebody's throat, right?
Yeah. He had a major facial trauma.
Ooh.
And I mean major facial trauma. And then he had a C-collar on, and he was super anterior. And any paramedic listening will know what that means. So it was just a difficult airway overall. And I got it first pass. So that was a pretty proud moment for me to know that I can do that shit.
And then there were other things too, the procedures that pre-hospital, and the doctor was bragging. It's always nice to have a doctor or one of the nurses.
Just a job.
It is kind of nice, because it's a running joke about EMS and the emergency room once you get there. So it's always nice to get a compliment from.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if there was just one thing you could change about EMS, the EMS system, to make it better for your patients and providers, what would it be? Just one thing. You could snap your fingers right now. What would that be?
I think I would just get rid of burnout.
Oh, yeah.
Burnout.
Man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Burnout just gets us all. I mean, I recently went through a major burnout phase, and I'm back at it now. I love it more than ever. But my stomach's growling.
We're almost done, I promise. Then you can get some lunch.
Heck yeah. Because it affects everybody. It affects the provider. It affects the patient. It affects your coworkers around you. I mean,
family members.
Yes. If I could get rid of burnout, I would.
That is a very good answer. I couldn't think of a better one. Could you, Lochie? Could you think of one?
No, and that is for sure. And I wish that we could actually get rested, because then the sleeping, it's like a vicious cycle, because then it does lead to the burnout. And I think, and I know one of our biggest platforms is the mental health. Sometimes we just don't talk about it. And I think I will have to say, we have spent a lot of time in the back of the ambulance, because when we come back from these calls that are such an impact on us, we sit out in the back of the ambulance because we're restocking. And whether it's with humor or just sitting back there and saying, what did we just do? I think that that's good for us too. And, with our group of people, don't you think we're good about doing that? And we're good about
decompressing.
Yeah. Whether it's in a, humorous way, or just, hey, I'm going to go and I need about 10 minutes in my room, then we'll come out and we'll get this going. I mean, I think we handle that well.
Well, also, like, if anything does happen, we just have to ask, and at a drop of a dime, like, we have a debrief happening.
Yes.
And we have mental health professionals in the building. It doesn't matter what time of day. They're there.
That's a good thing to have. Shout out to Washington County Ambulance District for doing that for their employees.
Yeah.
That is great.
I know, with Ashton alone, the turnout with that was amazing, and the way that they handled it. And then I've had several other calls. It was 3 a.m. and we were sitting and talking to mental health professionals because of what happened.
Well, and I know for me, and with that, sometimes, and you and I were on the call out with one of our regulars at Bismarck Fire, and I couldn't look at a stair chair because of the situation.
No.
So sometimes it's weird things. But I probably 3 or 4 months ago had a call that it didn't bother me, but the captain on duty was like, "Are you okay? We're just touching base with you, make sure you're okay." And just doing that's what I think is good at Washington County. So to kind of just real briefly, I had talked about Ashton, of course. Ashton, what kind of impact did that have on you and how you do handle things mental health wise differently? You were in charge of the crew at that time. You were the captain.
Yes.
And specifically of Ashton's crew. How did that change you? How have you handled things differently? Just in general, kind of how are you dealing with that?
So the initial impact was like, I'm the supervisor. I'm supposed to see everything. How did I not see that? And he did a very good job of hiding it. Obviously, we've hashed this out. But my initial thought was like, I'm in charge of him. I was supposed to be able to see when he was struggling like that. Like, was there a call? Did somebody say something to him that wasn't reported? Did I just totally miss an incident report? Like, what happened? And then I've come to terms with nothing could have changed what happened at this point. But I feel like I pay attention to my coworkers more. We see each other on a deeper level now. I feel like I see patients on a different level now. And then I had my own personal experience with mental health. I'll just outright say it. Like, back in March, I had my own little stay in a psych facility. Like, it changes you. It changes your perspective. And I don't know. The window the door that it opened was
that's something that you don't really expect to happen. But sometimes in life, as much as and don't take this the wrong way, but as terrible as it was to lose Ashton, do you think maybe it opened a door or a window for you guys to see what was behind that wall? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, and why I ask that question is because a lot of leadership positions now in EMS, fire, are young. Obviously they're young kids to me. They don't.
A captain at 22.
Exactly. And you guys don't necessarily have great experience. She sat here and told us about several calls that as the profession is experienced, but you don't have that. And I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but the experience, the life experience of how sometimes to handle things at the emotional level or things like that. And I think that's a lot to put on a 22-year-old or a 26-year-old. That's a lot to me, because there are times we've been in situations that I've been like, well, how the hell am I supposed to know what to do?
Yeah.
It's because I'm, 45, 50 years old. So that's why I wanted to ask, because I know that, and of course I knew the struggles you had, and there were times with you I didn't notice it, because Sid puts on a very strong, I got this, and and it's been mentioned, my kids don't have the emotional level that I do. I can cry for happy, I can cry for sad, and that's one thing that, and even with you, Tyler, my kids have always been good that I always know if they call, it's one, they probably do want something, but two, if it starts out, I just got back from this call.
Yeah.
That's the open door of
the key to the kingdom.
Yep. I need to talk a little bit more. And so that's why, I fear with the burnout, this is going to start happening sooner with the younger folks that we are putting in leadership roles.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that all agencies are helping you all in that leadership role at times
Yeah.
to deal with what you have to deal with.
I mean, I was thrown into my role.
Right.
Literally thrown in. There was a huge situation, and I was thrown into it, and I was not prepared for it. I was not prepared for the responsibilities, and I made it work. I had to step down eventually. A year and a half in, I had to or 2 years in.
That makes two of us then, because I had to step away from it too, so
Yeah.
don't feel bad.
I had to step. I mean, I stepped away from the truck altogether. I stepped away from the 911 side for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
And I very quickly realized that that's where I needed to be.
All right, time to go back. I gotta go back.
Yeah.
I can't do this boring stuff
Yeah.
anymore.
But I mean, I did. I had to step away. But I mean, before that, I had an utter breakdown, and I burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Burnout is a bitch, as I always say.
Yes,
I
It's
told-
very real.
very real. And again, most people see it on TV. Oh, they're fine. That was easy. Or I tell you what, bud, you come do it, and you tell me how you feel after doing it one time. Now do it 400 times, and then tell me how you feel after that.
yeah,
Well, and what people don't realize, you work that fatality accident, you come back, you restock your truck, you go pick up mama off the floor. You come back, you restock your truck, you go work a cardiac arrest. Nobody understands sometimes we don't have a second to process
What the hell
what
just
we
happened?
see.
Mhm.
And then when you get back, after you finally get back to your shift and you restock your truck and you relay the crosslays on your fire truck or whatever it is you might be doing, cops too, when they get off that shift, you could be fine on your way home, stop your car, get out at your house, and literally fall over in the driveway and just break down.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seconds, it can happen. So for young people considering EMS or firefighting, what advice would you give them today? In today's society and with the way things are today, what advice would you give them if they were going to go into EMS or firefighting?
Have compassion.
That is a big one.
Yeah. You don't see it a lot, I feel like, in the younger generation nowadays, unfortunately. And I hate to say that because I
No,
technically,
it's true.
I still am the younger generation.
Same here, but there's a difference between... But you and I have seen the front lines of things. We've
Yeah.
seen the reality of how bad life can actually be.
Yeah.
I've seen things I want nobody in their absolute life to ever see.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts us, and I'm not trying to put us on a pedestal here, but that puts us at a higher level than the people our age. Because how old are you?
26.
You're 26. I'm 25. So we're not very far apart.
Mm.
And every generation, I say our generation was the last ones to really crest that line, because after that, it just seems like it falls right off the, no disrespect, but it just seems like it falls off the spectrum there.
Yeah.
There is no compassion. There is no, hey neighbor, how can I help you out? It's what can I get for me? What can I do for me? What it's all about me.
Yeah.
And I'm not that type of person. Never have been. So compassion is what you would recommend.
Yeah. And this is kind of my soapbox when
Yeah.
it comes to EMS, and especially when it comes to students. I know a lot of older paramedics, they're salty, they're burnt out, they're tired.
Salty.
Yeah. And all they want to do is retire. They hate every patient they run into. And
You run across that a lot.
you do. And then they encounter a fresh baby-faced student, and they fill them with all of this negativity.
And burnout starts there.
Yes.
It's like poison.
Yes, they do. That is my biggest soapbox, is like, when it comes to students and fresh people, like, teach them the positive things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Don't form your opinion on them. Let them form their own.
yes,
Correct?
exactly.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I couldn't tell you how many people in the fire service, and I'm sure you guys can think of somebody when I say this. Don't do it that way. The phrase I absolutely hate. It's always been done that way.
Yep.
I hate that phrase.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
because it's always been done that way, Frankie, Joe Bob, doesn't mean it has to be done that way today. We're doing it my way.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to take pride in that, but that's what causes a lot of issues. Oh, well, because we haven't always checked we've never checked the truck. Okay, well, today we're going to check it because today's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
That's one big thing. Just drives me absolutely nuts. I hate it when people would say that. I had a fire chief, not mentioning names, asshole, wow, we've always done it that way. We're not doing it this way. Hey, I'm going to do inventory just make sure we're good to go. Nah, don't do that. Don't worry about doing that. Okay, well, dude, I'm going to do it anyways. And just because you done it this way back in 1984 doesn't mean we're going to do it this way here in 2025.
Well, and like I've always said, and absolutely no disrespect to any job, but our job isn't just, a simple oh, well, if it gets done, fine. If it doesn't, fine. It's another human being's life.
Yeah.
So if I don't have the simple strips to check a blood sugar, that's somebody's life.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so that's why, to me, you should do your job with the compassion. You should have empathy. You should have those things. And I am a strong believer, the minute it's gone, leave. Do not do that to these kids.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you would, that is advice that you would give them?
Just be open-minded.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So because you educate as well.
Yeah.
What if you have a student that you just know it does not fit? It doesn't fit to be an EMT. Don't waste your time. How would you handle that? How do you handle that? Do you handle it?
Just honesty. You gotta, I think you can sit and learn things in a classroom all day long. I think the most important part of EMT and paramedic school is your ride-along clinicals, and that's usually what weeds them out. It does it on its own.
Okay.
You usually don't have to say a whole lot.
Natural selection.
Yes.
That's a good one, Monkey.
It weeds
Good
them out.
question. Very good.
Because honestly, either you're in it or you're
out.
not.
Yep.
Don't you think, or am I being dramatic about it?
It's a little Ricky Rescue of you, but
But seriously, I feel like the second that I get to the point, and I kind of did, but when I get to the point of, oh my God, I'm not going here, I don't want to do this, then I need to leave.
it's time to go.
It is time to go. And I think it's hard for maybe other people to do that. And I don't know. I guess I'm more of a realist. And I can be negative, as you all know. I can be salty.
No, I never. Never. You can never be negative.
Well, shout out to Justin Duncan again.
We want you on the podcast.
Yeah, come on. The very first time I ever met him outside of him introducing himself in a very scary fashion at paramedic school.
He's a very scary person. I'm Justin Duncan, and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
He lectured one of my classes. He gave one of the best lectures, and I will sit in it every time he lectures on ventilators.
Very good speaker.
Yes. His opening thing was a quote that said, one of the most harmful things we can say in EMS is we've always done it this way, and that's always stuck with me.
Crazy how that works, isn't it? This is a guy who...
I specifically remember that slide. I remember that day. That I don't know. I just remember that whole lecture, and so
that's crazy. He's like
Jay Dunkey.
He's like a god. And to me, that dude, if I ever have an accident, I don't care if I'm in the state of Oklahoma, you better call him and fly him to wherever I'm at, because that
Justin Duncan there.
That dude is phenomenal when it comes to emergency medicine. He's a little wild at times. Shout out to you, Justin, but you're a great dude, and if I ever get hurt, please make sure one of you three come and visit me, please. So what is the word valor? Got it the third time here, Locke. We're doing something good. I know how to read somewhat. What does the word valor mean to you personally after years in the field?
I think it's, what's the word I want to use here? Just pride. I think. Just pride.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's the best word that I have to describe it. Because I'm very proud and prideful of what I do, and
that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Don't ever let anybody take that away from you. I did, and I regret it every day.
Well, and I think what was eye-opening to me is, we get in trouble, or something said if our shirt isn't tucked in. We all look the same. There is a pride about how we present ourselves. There is a pride in what our fleet looks like.
Thank you, Tony, for yelling at me.
Yeah, he did me too.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize it was untucked. But I think it does present a different, what's the word? The atmosphere of morality.
Yeah.
Morale of a group. I know we sometimes complain about this or that, but I think that unity that we have, I love to say that I work there or I'm an EMT.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a strong bond.
It is.
It's not even just working there. Just saying,
yes.
When people ask, what do? I'm a paramedic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes I get a little fancy with it. I'm critical care paramedic.
Oh, I'm sure I made you feel real fancy today.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into one more thing with you. It's going to be a rapid fire round. How's that sound? Rapid
good.
fire round. We're going to...
These are good.
First thing that can come, it took me a minute. I will say ChatGPT helped me out with a couple of these because there's a few I just could not come up with.
Was it our conversation? I called it chat GPS or whatever.
Hey, if you guys need help, just call ChatGPS. It'll be a fun time. ChatGPT did help me with a couple of these, but there's some of these that came straight from the heart. What little of one I have left. Are you ready? Just
Yep.
First thing comes to mind.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Coffee or energy drink before a shift?
Energy drink.
Okay. Favorite station snack or on a long day?
Rice Krispie treat from Mercy Jefferson.
Yes.
Those are good. Hospital Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah,
I have
they are the best ever.
country music, rock, or podcast on the way to work. You better say podcast.
It's definitely a podcast.
I'm hoping it's Midwest Mayhem. Have you listened to any of our podcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I listened to was Mom's first episode.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to give her a hug or smack her around a little bit.
Okay.
So if you weren't an EMS, what job would you want to try?
Oh, I'd be a cosmetologist.
For sure.
Yes.
A whole different ballgame.
And I would do nails the whole 9 yards.
Nailed
Nails. Nails.
Yes.
Funniest thing you've ever heard a patient say?
Oh, man. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Sure.
I had a psych patient call me a double D big titty bitch.
That's fantastic. That is great.
Yep.
Dog or cats?
Dog.
Smart lady. Hidden talent most people don't know about you.
Well, I can play the ukulele.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yep.
That's something.
And do you think you could still play the flute? I mean, the clarinet, sorry.
If I tried hard enough.
And then what was it? Oh, and the saxophone. That was the other
played
thing.
alto sax, yep.
First thing you do when you get home from a 24-hour shift.
Take my uniform off. I strip that
Straps.
thing out, yeah.
Favorite local spot in Washington County to unwind?
In Washington County? Oh, Midwest Press.
Yes, I knew you were going to say
Of
worse.
course.
And our last one, one word to describe your EMS family?
I got it in 2.
Oh, goodness. Crazy.
I was thinking fucked up.
That's
In a good way.
Yeah.
Well, Sydney, thank you so much for joining us here on Midwest Mayhem. You are our very first guest on Voices of Valor. Got it a 4th time lock, haha. We are so glad to have you here. I feel like this was a great conversation. I have had a very good time.
Mhm.
We're going to have to wrap this up because I think my wife's is still wrangling your child
Yeah,
somewhere.
sounds like it.
But thank you again for joining us here with Voices of Valor. Please tell all your friends,
Yes.
your crazy ones. I want to hear more messed up and funny, scary stuff. We would love to have Justin Duncan visit us on here, and I believe I got him to agree to it. I just got to find a day to fit him in.
And then Ariel, it's not Nicholson anymore, but it's
Gray.
Ariel Gray is another one that we
Yep,
want on here.
If you'd like to join us, just get a hold of her and tell her how to join. She didn't have to come to my house. I promise. I don't want everybody here. I have a new system for phone calls. Joe Exotic called in and it was great. So you are you people, and I say you people, first responders. You guys are what embody Voices of Valor. You guys are Valor. I see.
Almost made it. Almost.
You guys are what inspire us to do this. I feel like this is a good thing for all of our local first responders to sit and do. The public can hear it. Please share this on Facebook if you guys see it. This episode drops, if you're listening to it right now, it dropped today, which would be October 10th, Friday, October 10th. Friday, yay, whatever you want to say. So one more question. I got one more for you.
Okay.
Can we handle it? Can we handle one more?
I think so.
If you could leave our listeners with one final message, what would it be?
Don't let things get to you.
That's a tough one. I need to take that advice.
Just let it roll off your back. It's all right. Everything will be all right.
Are you personally directing that at me?
Sometimes.
She's looking, for those of you who aren't here, she's looking right at her.
Yeah, she is staring to my soul.
I live by the whole, like, it'll all be okay eventually.
Isn't that a song like by Bob Marley or something? No? Yeah, okay, yeah, so I was
that
right.
was on that
Yeah.
Shark Tale. Yes.
Yes. So we're going to be wrapping things up here. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Midwest Mayhem. If you would like to be on Voices of Valor, I screwed it up again. Sorry. If you want to sign up, visit our Facebook page or our website at www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. There's a link up at the top. You can click on it, and it takes you to the Google form for you to register with us. If you do register with us, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can, or Lochie will. This release date again is Friday, October 10th. If you're listening to it right now, obviously it's that day. It's going to release at 12 a.m. if you're up. If it's 12 a.m. right now, shout out to you for listening to us so early. Where to listen: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Podcastle, or right on our website, again, www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. Click the link, listen, and it'll take you to all of our episodes exclusively. Let's talk about what we got coming up next. How about that, Lochie?
Absolutely. I'm excited about this one, too.
Are you still excited to hang out with me? Are you glad you're my co-host?
Yeah,
still?
I do. I love this. I look forward to Sundays.
Me too. I hated Sundays, but now I look forward to it because I get to hang out with you and my wife and everybody else. Coming up on Midwest Mayhem Podcast, we've got Judge Michael Randazzo joining us. Not next week. Next week we are off. We don't have an episode. It's my anniversary. Figured my wife would probably kill me if I record during our anniversary. So it's our 1 year. Big milestone. But the week after, we've got Judge Michael Randazzo will be joining us via phone, talking about his new book, Presiding Over Shadows, which he did send us, and we're going to give it a read. Your copy will be here Tuesday for you to read, since you can't read the digital one for some reason.
Well, and I know a lot of people in Bismarck are reading it because they're posting it on Facebook. So if anybody would like to ask a question, either send it in on our Facebook page or one of us personally. Go ahead. I can interrupt.
No, you're good. Before I forget, I'll forget if I don't say it.
That's why we...
Yeah, we're mental patients here on Midwest Mayhem. But you can message our Facebook page, Midwest Mayhem Podcast. You can email us at midwestmayhem25@gmail.com. You can leave us with a message on our website as well. You can find all those contacts on there, www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. Check that out. But if you have a question for Judge Randazzo, please email it in, send it to us, and we'll try to filter through them as quick as we can with him. And
I do want to add, I know that we do have some people that have requested potentially being a guest on the show. Just know that we are going to take some time to get through them because we pretty much have October's booked. We kind of want to focus in November on some of our veterans, but just know we are looking. We will get back with you. But
absolutely, maybe next year, but we'll get to you. I promise.
Absolutely.
We're nowhere near done with this. And Voices of Valor. We got it. We're getting there. I'm learning. Voices of Valor, we're going to continue on with that. I hope into next year. I hope we get so booked. We're booked for months. I really do. But we got Judge Michael Randazzo joining us again. And then we're going to do a Halloween special. We're going to record that, and it's going to release on Halloween. How about that? I'm so excited.
I look forward to that because we took Winry yesterday into Spirit Halloween. And I was trying to scare her with stuff, and I don't know. I want it to be funny because I was scared shitless all the time. Still am.
We're gonna have all kinds of fun. I got some ideas already.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one too.
So Halloween episode that's gonna drop on Halloween. Again, where to find us? Our website. I've said it 100 times. www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook. We do have a TikTok that Lochie's gonna run for us as soon as she gets logged into it.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll do for that. I'll have to come up with some.
We're gonna let
Lockie help you with that.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Sydney's gonna be our producer.
Yeah.
So we are on Facebook, TikTok. Don't forget to leave us a review. All the reviews we get on Facebook would be greatly appreciated. The more you guys follow us and listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Podcast, Apple Podcast, the more we have to get some sponsors. We can get some more sponsors. I can actually get some. BetterHelp is a mental health sponsor. They sponsor the Parkland podcast done by Mark Toady and Jason Lowry. I think they sponsor The Barn, which is a podcast studio. It's not as cool mine's not as cool as theirs, but whatever. I would like to get them, but we're going to have so many listeners before I can do that.
Gotcha.
So let's blow this thing up. Let's get it going. So again, that's where to find us. And again, thank you so much, Sid, for joining us and talking to us and having. I hope you had some kind of fun.
Yeah,
and always know and we are a plethora of resources.
Oh, for sure.
We have education resources, we have mental health resources. We've got it all, and we do appreciate you. It was neat to hear some of this stuff because I didn't know these things about you.
I do know that.
Even as your mother,
I do want to know, what was your thought when your mom told you, I'm doing a podcast now?
I didn't know what to think, but honestly, it didn't surprise me in the slightest. Some of the stuff you've done.
She's getting better with it. We're both playing off of each other. I got a new soundboard last week, and our last episode sounded terrible because I don't know how to use it yet, but I think this one's going to sound really good. So
I'm excited.
again, this is Midwest Mayhem. We visited with Sydney Horton, a critical care paramedic with Washington County Ambulance District. I look forward to hearing from all of you again here soon. Sid, I hope to have you here again. Probably in the next couple months, maybe sooner, maybe later.
Heck yeah.
Maybe we'll have some new stories and we'll have a couple laughs. Does that sound?
Sounds great.
Good. Well, this has been Midwest Mayhem. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Lochie.
And we are out. Thank you guys again so much. We'll talk to you later. Hey, y'all, you've been listening to the Midwest Mayhem podcast, where quiet towns have loud stories and first responders have a voice. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcastle, and YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok and subscribe so you never miss an episode. For more stories and photos and upcoming guests, check us out online at www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. And remember, always reach out and make your voice heard. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time here on Midwest Mayhem.